So China has announced a series of measures rolling back some of the most draconian anti-COVID-19 restrictions. The announcement includes limiting the scale of lockdowns to individual apartment floors and buildings rather than entire districts and neighbourhoods. Well, let's find out more. We're going to talk to journalist Fabian Kretschmer, who joins us from Beijing. Fabian, bring us up to date first then on what this is actually set to mean for people.
Well, in my opinion, this is really a game changer, a paradigm shift from zero COVID to living with the virus now. I mean, look where we came from. Until very recently, we were all afraid that, if you not only tested positive for the virus, but, it was just enough that you are a suspected COVID case, that health workers would mandatorily transfer you to a quarantine center. Now, even when you are infected, you can just cure out your mild symptoms at home. Also, we don't need to be afraid anymore of those citywide lockdowns or district-wide lockdowns. I mean, it was really enough that only one of your hundreds of neighbors tested positive and your whole building, your whole compound was sealed off. Now there's none of that anymore. I mean, it's really a paradigm shift. And also the mandatory testing is basically suspended. So, for example, elderly homes or big companies, they can set their own testing requirements, but it's not necessary to go to the supermarket and show your negative PCR test result from the last 48 hours. I mean, this is really a big change for our everyday life. And it really feels that, now we're opening up and we're getting back to kind of a normal way of life.
It does seem to be a big climb down, though, doesn't it, from Xi Jinping? I mean, does it diminish his authority?
To some degree, yes, but I mean, the propaganda apparatus is working quite efficient in that way. I mean, you cannot access outside information here if you don't use a special VPN software. So most people listen to, the state radio or watch the state TV, and they basically now say, okay, Chinese scientists have found out that, Omicron is not as dangerous anymore. So now we are changing our virus strategy, etc. And now they are emphasizing that the virus is not so dangerous anymore. Completely the opposite than what they said last week. But I mean, they make it sound plausible. And the biggest goal for them is to distract from the fact that basically Xi Jinping's policy has failed.
Fabian, thanks very much. Fabian Kretschmer, correspondent or journalist, talking to us there from Beijing.